Imagine being able to enjoy your music precisely the way it was first recorded. Imagine the ultimate studio experience, but in your home. That aspiration is now a reality. KEF LS50 Anniversary Model, a legend reborn in the ultimate mini monitor. Continuing a 50-year legacy of innovation, celebrating KEF's original collaboration with the BBC. Using Blade technologies and beyond, the LS50 packs a colossal soundstage into our most compact design, bringing out detail and richness you never thought possible. KEF LS50, professional sound for the home. 4 decades ago, the BBC worked with KEF on the legendary LS3 5A studio speaker, because KEF was a pioneer in new technology. In the same spirit, the LS50 pushes the boundaries of innovation, using pioneering technologies from Blade and more. Still an engineer's loudspeaker, the LS50 brings the recording studio into the home with an unparalleled richness of sound.
The main challenge of developing the LS50 as the ultimate mini monitor was to take such a compact package and to get an accurate, spacious sound with all the excitement of the original performance. The 3 key technological breakthroughs in the LS50 are the constrained layer damping, the curved baffle and the flexible elliptical reflex port. These combine together to give a clear and spacious sound. The curved baffle is shaped so that the sound waves spread from the drive unit with minimum reflection from the edges, and that gives a very nice spacious sound. The curvature also improves the rigidity of the baffle, which reduces the vibration. The constrained layer damping, which is between the brace and the enclosure walls and also the front baffle, prevents the cabinet vibrating and radiating sound. This can otherwise cause coloration in the mid-range. The port tube has a flexible wall. This is to allow mid-range sound that is travelling down the port tube to escape back into the cabinet and prevents longitudinal resonances. These can otherwise radiate and cause mid-range coloration. The port tube also has very carefully flared walls to avoid the chuffing noises that you can get when you get air turbulence in the port tube. For the LS50 project, we were very fortunate to be able to draw on the driver technology from the Blade to develop a really special Uni-Q for the LS50. The LS50 high frequency unit has got a tangerine waveguide and optimum dome shape to reduce a spherical wavefront. This together with the Z-Flex surround gives very wide dispersion, allowing a very spacious sound to be produced with a wide sweet spot. The stiffened dome of the high frequency unit is centrally positioned in the magnesium aluminium alloy mid-range cone. These diaphragms both move as rigid pistons, and the break-up control of the mid-range unit allows an exceptionally accurate and clean sound. In this project, the access we had to the very latest computing techniques allowed us to spend a considerable amount of time at the beginning of the project just exploring what happens inside the loudspeaker enclosure and the different geometries and materials we could use to make it perform better. We had the finite element method for modelling the vibration and the air inside the box, the boundary element method for modelling the radiation into infinite space, and computational fluid dynamics to look at the airflow inside the reflex port. The main benefit of this technology was that it allowed us to evaluate how much coloration was radiated from the port and the cabinet walls. We could also see exactly how the cabinet walls vibrated and the sound pressure varied inside the enclosure. What we're doing now is completely in the spirit of KEF, bringing recordings to life using the latest technology.
An unrivaled legacy of half a century's innovation means the KEF name is synonymous with acoustic excellence. And the quest continues, with KEF leading the way.
Hello, my name is Andrew Jones and I'm the Chief Speaker Engineer for Pioneer Electronics. Today I'd like to talk about our Pioneer Elite Dolby Atmos enabled loudspeaker systems, starting with this bookshelf speaker here. Dolby Atmos is a process that allows you to get height information out of a surround sound system, so you feel fully enveloped within the sound field, not just around you but over you as well. This can be done in two ways, either with ceiling speakers or with a Dolby Atmos enabled loudspeaker. You can do it without the need for putting loudspeakers into the ceiling. Now we do this by having a drive unit, an independent drive unit, in the top of the loudspeaker that bounces its sound off of the ceiling and back down to the listening position. And this is accessed from a separate set of terminals on the back of the loudspeaker from those that drive the front section of the loudspeaker. In order to provide the right sound characteristics for the Dolby Atmos enabled process, we've developed a new drive unit. This is a concentric drive unit. It meets the directivity requirements for Atmos in a way that gives superior sound quality. A concentric driver takes the tweeter and puts it in the center of the mid-range at the apex of the cone. This imparts a unique directivity onto the loudspeaker and perfectly matches the requirements of Dolby Atmos. And this newly developed driver incorporates a mid-range cone that is made of aluminum with a first breakup mode of nearly 8 kHz, so remarkable performance from an aluminum mid-range, and a soft dome tweeter for smooth extended response. Now what's different about this speaker system is that we incorporate a concentric driver for both the top firing drive unit and the forward firing drive unit. We now have identical characteristics for the top and the front. This is the first loudspeaker system that does this as a Dolby Atmos enabled speaker system. And the result of this is we get a uniformity of sound field that is unsurpassed. The sound just fully envelops you and gives you that sense of being absorbed into the action because you're absorbed into a sound field. Now for the front section, we combine it with a bass driver. This is a 5-inch bass driver, again with aluminum cone and aluminum dust cap. And this newly developed drive unit has a large diameter voice coil for much better power handling and dynamic bass, a large vented pole piece in the magnet structure to relieve the back pressure underneath the dust cap, long throw capability, and it's put into a cabinet that is vented at the rear. The vent is flared both on the inside and the outside to minimize turbulent airflow and help in the process of getting good dynamic bass. The crossover point between those two drivers is around 260 Hz, whereas the top driver operates down to just below 200 Hz. The terminals are intended to connect to the appropriate section of the loudspeaker. So the top terminals go to the top drive unit, the bottom terminals go to the front drivers. They're not a bi-wired system capability. They are independent channels to be connected to the appropriate channels in a Dolby Atmos enabled receiver. The crossover networks inside the loudspeaker are essentially a 5-section crossover. 3 sections for the front, 2 sections from the top. So the top is a 2-way system, the front is a 3-way system. And this is the first and only Dolby Atmos enabled speaker system in a complete package that has concentric drivers for both the upward firing and forward firing drive units. For more information about these products, please visit pioneerelectronics.com.
Are you ready to hear more details in your favorite tracks? The Edifier bookshelf speakers pack the latest technology that brings your music to another level. With a wide range of input options, you can connect them easily to a turntable, create a home theater in your living room, or just enjoy the elegant look. Edifier, the true audio experience for everyone.
These are the new BS22 bookshelf loudspeakers, developed from the original B21s, but with changes in all of the drive units. For the woofer, we have a new improved cone. It's a structured surface cone. This provides a stiffer cone for better low frequency performance, at the same time smoothing out the resonances at the high frequencies for better blending over to the tweeter. And we combine that with a hard dust cap to further control the resonances at the higher frequencies. We've also vented the pole piece so that the pressure build-up underneath the dust cap is reduced. This gives a much more dynamic bass response. And combined with a lower suspension resonant frequency, we get better, more extended bass. We combine that with a new tweeter design. It's a new dome material, a new waveguide shape for better off-axis performance, and a much larger magnet. This contributes to a much higher efficiency from the tweeter, and that reduces the dynamic compression at high sound levels. They're blended together with the new crossover, still a 6-element crossover using a film cap on the tweeter and also an air core inductor. And for the bass section, we have a laminated steel core inductor and gold-plated terminals. The redesign combined with the drivers gives us much smoother response, much more linear response. We end up with better bass performance, higher sensitivity, and this all makes it easier to drive with entry-level receivers. The BS22s are designed to be versatile, primarily designed for music reproduction as part of a stereo system, and hence having a good wide range response. They can also be used in a home theatre system as either the front speakers when combined with the subwoofer, or as the rear speakers. These speakers put the fun back into listening to music or watching movies. They're versatile, they're wide range, and they'll allow you to hear everything that the source material has got.
Introducing the Edifier R1700 BT Bluetooth bookshelf speakers. The R1700 is designed with a classic walnut finish and a 10-degree upward angle to better direct sound for desktop users. These speakers deliver the cleanest audio with its built-in processors, Bluetooth connectivity, wireless remote, and onboard bass and treble dials. Add convenience to these well-rounded speakers